I've been talking to some Ravens fans, and they all say it's time for Harbaugh to go. But what happens is he gets on the roll because they have a lot of talent. Ozzie used to pack that team with talent, and they will overcome even the shortcomings of a coach. If this was one of these guys that people don't like, they would be kicking him in his head. But he's a fan favorite. He's a quiet, he's a meek guy. He's humble. He's tough but consistent and blah, blah, blah. So that's the type of guy who sits around and yucks it up with the reporters and make it seem like he's their best friend, so he don't get a whole lot of flack that a guy like a Rex Ryan or even a Chucky, even though I'm not a fan of Chucky, or one of these coaches that'll just let you know Parcells. These coaches that'll tell you, man, get out my face. You don't know what you're talking about. And that's why the Ravens are looking the way they're looking. Compounded by the injuries. But to me personally, part of getting players open is coaching. When you have proper coaching, you get players open. Anybody who want to refute what I'm saying, all you have to do is go straight up 95 north until you run into Foxborough and you see Bill Belichick is dealing with less talent than most people, or less dramatic talent than most people, and he continues to make it work. So to me, this is a clear-cut case of poor coaching and an inability to touch your players, because there is no way you was going to play Westinghouse and stand on the W and it wouldn't have went down. I've seen it happen at the U. I've seen it happen at Florida State. I've seen it happen on the Star in Dallas, and it happened. And for the only time I didn't see a fracas breakout was Sunday, when the coach is out there wrestling with ball players looking like a chump. They'll say they lost their identities. The Ravens were out coached in a few games this year. They still beat the Cowboys and the Giants. Damn. Shout out to Deacon Dale. Shout out to Deacon Dale making it happen, man.
You wasn't going to sit on the provider from being from another school. Like, nah, you wasn't going to celebrate or you try to do all the extra stuff on the middle of our floor. Like you said, there'll be some furniture being removed.
Just.
Yeah, by the team not backing them, that just shows like they not behind them at all. Like I said, I'm not sure what's going on. But is it something with the Harbaugh? Because it's like Michigan ain't doing so well either.
Difference is this one won a Super Bowl.
Okay, I give you that. I give you that. But I'm just saying, but is it something up with the Harbaugh? Because it seems like both coaches have quote unquote lost or are losing their vision. Has their time just ran? Is where they're at? Is it time to move on from where they're at?
Most definitely. It's time for both of them to go. It's time for both of them to go. Now, Jim may not lose his job, because Jim is in a situation to where he can always fall back on the COVID thing, and everything was in disarray, so everything was out of whack. So I'm gonna keep my job. John needs to go, because this is the third time that the players had to save his job. First time he won the Super Bowl. The next time Lamar Jackson saved his ass. He needs to go. Point blank, period, end of sentence, full stop. We're going in another direction. Pittsburgh Steelers, are they a product of the schedule, or are they the real deal?
You want to take that? You go ahead and go.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a product of the schedule, coaching, and man, the defense is good, man. And they running game. Well, you said that they had a good running game. I don't see.
I said no, I didn't. I said they had a solid and an adequate running game.
They use a short passing game to kind of make up for their running game. I mean, it's only been so far in this 10-0 start. I'd say about maybe 3 games that could have went the other way.
I'm going to give it to the team. At first, in my notes, I had a mixture of both. but you can only play more in front of you. I mean, when they made this schedule last year, or both coming into this season, you didn't know what was going to happen in regards to what these teams were going to fall off at. So Pittsburgh has to play who was in front of them. So I'm giving it to them. Mike Tomlin got the boys coming. Again, he has another successful season. Going to win, what, is it? How many seasons did it not be? Like 9-10 seasons where he had over 500, well over 10 games, like 9-10 games. So I'm giving it to the team. In this regard.
I would definitely agree with the combination of both. You're looking at the situation to whereas last year the defense just picked up where they left off at. So when you pick up where you left off at, and you were doing the damn thing with when you're doing the damn thing with a quarterback that's inadequate, then there you go. You going when you bring in a quarterback that's gonna do the damn thing or just not lose a game. Because me personally, I think Ben Roethlisberger is one of the most overrated quarterbacks in the last 15, 20 years. That whole Eli Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, Phillip Rivers class is overrated as hell. Period. But that's neither here nor there. I think Mike Tomlin is pushing the right buttons as usual. And I personally blame Ben Roethlisberger for all the shortcomings in the Pittsburgh Ben Roethlisberger and injuries for all the shortcomings of the Pittsburgh Steelers over the last 10 years. Since Mike Tomlin has taken over, it's either the injury bug has hurt him or it's been a situation to where as Ben Roethlisberger has had one of his historic 3 to 5 interception games and blow the damn season. Season goes straight down the drain. So I definitely think they've been blessed by a less than stellar schedule, but the beautiful thing about this is Mike Tomlin has not allowed the Pittsburgh Steelers to fall into any trap games. They could have just limped into the game with Dallas. They could have limped into the game this week and go, hey man, this these bums. And next thing you know, it's over with. He hasn't allowed it. Big ups to Mike Tomlin. He's been doing the damn thing since he walked through the door. And as long as Ben Roethlisberger doesn't blow it, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers could win and play for the Super Bowl championship. What are y'all thoughts on that? And I never said the Pittsburgh Steelers had a good running game. I said they had an adequate running game.
I mean, between the two tests in regards to the Pittsburgh Steelers, I mean, as far as it goes, it was in the room, as far as it goes, and if everything goes as sharp or the way it's supposed to be, it's going to be them in the Kansas City Chiefs. So, are their defense going to be able to step up and slow down that high-powered offense? We don't know. Ben Roethlisberger, like you said, is he going to have one of those end games, or is he going to step his game up and actually come to play? But I mean, at this point in time, those are going to be the two teams, like I said, that's supposed to be in the AFC Championship, so I'm looking at that. So as far as it goes, I say yeah. The Pittsburgh Steelers can beat Kansas City. If the defense can hold up and slow down that offense, they'll be just fine.
That's going to be kind of tough, man.
I said it is a yes.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of tough.
So the Steelers got a whole
if Buddy get back into that, I'm going to make the quarterback the MVP. Because if they run the ball, and like if they have like at least a 60 to 40 ratio as far as passing and throwing, passing and running, ain't nobody beating Kansas City. But if they only have Patrick Mahomes throwing, Pittsburgh will beat them.
I like Patrick Mahomes. I'm not as confident as you are in the Kansas City Chiefs because the defense is porous. And when your defense is that bad, if you run up against a team who can score, i.e. Sunday, we'll talk about that later. You run up against this team who can score consistently, you'll beat them more times than not with defense, even if they are balanced. Because defense travels, offense don't. No matter what you do, 99 times out of 100, your defense will show up. Your offense, if it starts off slow and the other team gets out fast, they can slow the game down and beat you. So I'm not as confident as you are. I do understand where the confidence comes from. When you got Patrick Mahomes on your team, you got a chance 16 weeks. You got a chance 16 weeks to 2 weeks in the playoffs. Well, it's going to be 3 weeks in the playoffs because Pittsburgh more than likely going to be number one. The 3 weeks in the playoffs and the Super Bowl. You got a chance every time you step on the field. But if that defense don't step up, I'm not as confident as them as you are, because again, 99 times out of 100, the defense and the game is a different game in January. That's why a lot of these big time players, they be invisible men in January. January shows who is who. So I'm not as confident, but it's kind of hard to vote against the goddamn Kansas City Chiefs because that shit is unreal. What the hell is going on in Philly, guys?
Philly's a dumpster fire. Truly. I mean, we talk crazy about this division, and everybody was lackluster and things like that. We gave Eagles a pass or two because there was some injuries involved, but they screwed loose too. I don't know what's going on with walking through and wet, as my boy Uncle Shake calls, but it's like, it's so weird because they can't get anything rolling. And I don't understand that at all either. Like, the way I'm looking, well, of course not as bad, but the way I'm looking at them is the same way I'm looking at the Ravens. Like, what are y'all doing? So, man, both of them teams need wake-up calls.
But, you know what, man? I think that there was a play Sunday, right? In the fourth quarter, I think it was like 8 minutes to go. Play action pass. You could either hit, if I'm not mistaken, it was the running back or tight end, Goddard. For some reason, he wanted to go another like 5 or 10 yards to somebody that was double covered and threw an interception. And it was just like, it was so obvious, like, dude, why are you throwing that in this situation? And he has 1 or 2 of those every game, man. I think it's Winston.
Again, this is the same thing. I think somebody laid down. Remember back in the day when you used to pay for things with credit card, they would slide the carbon copy thing. This is a carbon copy of the thing that's going on in Baltimore. This team has totally lost its identity. They've lost their toughness. And this is what happens when you win a Super Bowl. Frank Wright gets the job in Indianapolis. The boy in Chicago goes away, which they probably doing a little better than Matt Nagy and calling plays in Philadelphia. And the team gets, the coaching staff gets split up, and they lose their mojo. Carson Wentz is, again, another one of these overrated guys that don't nobody want to get on TV and say, he kind of sucked. But at the end of the day, he kind of sucked. I thought he was overrated a couple years ago. I thought he was overrated last year. I thought he was overrated the day they drafted him. And they've been dressing him up in this big-time quarterback suit for the longest. Another thing is Doug Peterson, he needs to commit to the run. Again, it's another case. I hate to sound like a broken record. Keep listening to them damn computers, man. It's amazing how the coaches that are not following their analytics formula, they keep getting their asses kicked. They keep getting their asses handed to them because this is a passing league. Okay, pass your way right into last place. Pass your way right into last place. That's just stupid. I agree with you, big dog. Carson Wentz is hitting wide open linebackers at the most inopportune times, and it's partially because he's pressing. And he's right out of the Ben Roethlisberger, Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers mold. I'm not finna give you credit of being a great quarterback because you were there when 2 Super Bowl victories happened. Because let's just be honest. Eli and Ben won 4 Super Bowls between them. Eli made some big plays in both those Super Bowls. But if you take that NASCAR package and you take away